This is Living Power with Dan Hurst.
The word again is an amazing word. It is the word anothen. Anothen is a word that means far more than the English word again. We use the word again, but the word anothen actually it means from the source. The suggestion is it literally means from above. And so it means from the source, from that which something begins. And let me show you the same word and how it's used in other places in the Bible. For example, even John in the same chapter, later on in the chapter, John 3, verse 31, he who comes from above, it's that word, anothen. That's the same word as born again. But now it's used as in its context of from above, because that's what the word literally means. He who comes from above, anothen, is above all. He who is of the earth belongs to the earth and speaks in an earthly way. He who comes from heaven is above all. Later in John chapter 19, verse 10 and 11, when Jesus is standing before Pilate, notice something that Jesus said. So Pilate said to him, "You will not speak to me? Do you not know that I have the authority to release you and the authority to crucify you?" And Jesus answered him, "You would have no authority over me unless it had been given to you from above," anothen. "Therefore, he who delivered me over to you has the greater sin." Then, later on in Matthew chapter 27, verse 51, describing what happened when Jesus was crucified, "And behold, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top," and that's that word, anothen, from the top to the bottom, "and the earth shook and the rocks were split." So this word, born again, is this word anothen. Again is the word anothen, and it literally means from the source, or it means from the beginning, or literally from above. And what Jesus was saying to Nicodemus was, your lineage, your education, your achievements, your position in life mean nothing relative to the kingdom of God. If you want a place in the kingdom of God, you have to be born from above. You have to be born of God. That's what he was saying, which he will go on to explain in just a few moments means to be born spiritually. But this was just a remarkable statement to Nicodemus. Nicodemus, who thought all along that if anybody was going to be included in the kingdom of God, if anybody had it together, it was Nicodemus. And for Jesus to come to him and say, "Dude, everything that you've believed is wrong," was just a remarkable, upsetting thing for him. And he struggled with it. And his response shows that he struggled with it. At this point, it must have really thrown him off, because his response indicates just absolute total confusion. Well, what he says to him, what, you mean how can you be born when you're old? I have to go back into the womb? What are you saying? Now, we don't really know if he was challenging Jesus at this point, or if he was sincere in his question. But in any case, it's clear that he was having trouble understanding this concept, much like the world does today. When you talk to the world today and you use this idea of being born again, don't you get that same kind of reaction? Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean being born again? What does that mean? What does the term mean? What do you mean born again? It's just some spiritual word that you Christians toss around. Well, 1 Corinthians 2:14 says, "The natural person doesn't accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him, and he's not able to understand them because they are spiritually discerned." And we struggle with this. We try to get the world to understand spiritual things when the world is not spiritual. The world doesn't connect with that. The world doesn't get it. The world is like Nicodemus, going through some spirituality, acting spiritual, going through all the motions and the emotions, but not having the understanding of it.